Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome to the Best Mom Ever podcast, your place for learning how to create a close relationship with your teen, even if they have already shut you out. I'm Allison, and I want to help you get out of struggle and into trust, happiness, and confidence with your teen without throwing pills at the problem. Thanks so much for listening, and we are glad you're here. Hello, beautifuls. I'm Allison, hosting the Best Mom Ever podcast for you today. And I love this name for, I guess, my business, because we are all on this journey to become the best possible parents for the kids that we have. And the person that we were when they were born wasn't enough for the humans that we are raising right now. So we are on this evolution journey to become the parent that our kid needs. Therefore, best mom ever. All right. So today we're going to talk about calm and why a lot of us really struggle with calm. And why exactly is this so important? And some of these things might seem obvious, but hopefully some insight really helps everyone move forward on this experience. So here at Best Mom Ever, I focus on moms of teen girls and non-binary teens because girls and women are conditioned differently in our society. Generally, our work, intelligence, talent are undervalued, and that affects our worth, our self-worth, and well-being. And girls in particular are better at masking their true selves, which could definitely be said for non-binary teens as well, as a protective mechanism, right? We do this to protect ourselves, stay safe, and they experience a marked difference in their self-esteem as a result. And there's research to back this up. So let's remember, I invite you all to join me in remembering that we are actually the fabric that helps make up our current society. So if we want to have more peace, more connection, more happiness in our culture, what a gift, and in our lives, right? We have the power to influence the direction that our culture goes. So yay, and let's raise teens who really trust themselves. I want to know what happens when parents are empowered to break generational patterns, to raise girls that know their value, to raise girls differently so that this generation of teens can be courageous and confident. Like, imagine what that does for the world. Let's raise teens that trust themselves. Just imagine what becomes possible when our teens know that they are supported and loved unconditionally. How much easier does that make it for them to take a risk? For them to try something new, for them to be willing to try something hard that they might fail at. Oh, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening because this stuff really matters. Okay. How would this type of parenting impact who our young people will become and the goals that they will go after? So great. What causes would be important to them if they understood that they had the power to make the world more like they want it to be. I love this stuff, you guys. So today we get to talk about calm. We get to talk about why we struggle so much with calm, and we get to talk about why we need it so much. So the first reason that we really struggle with calm is because we're time broke. Time starved, man. Like, we don't have enough time for anything that has to do with us. Like, I get on this podcast and I talk to you guys about self-care, but like, when does any of us have time to do something like get a massage or to even like take an actual lunch break? Rachel Rogers, in her book, We Should All Be Millionaires, states that moms are time starved. So it's no wonder we experience less happiness, more anxiety, a raise in obesity, and bad sleep. Okay, I'm going to pause this recording because my sweet, wonderful dog is barking. So speaking of time starved, I just noticed when I went to let my dog in that the recycling was going out and I missed it today. But that's all right because I'm committed to calm. It's all good. We'll do it again in 2 weeks. So we are time broke Society tells us that we have to have it all, especially as moms. We have to have the businesses, we have to be the experts, we have to parent in a beautiful way, we have to have great relationships with our kids. Our kids have to be well behaved. Okay, so again, society tells us that we have to have it all, which is code for doing it all ourselves. Anybody else want off the hamster wheel? I know that I do. I totally want to do a podcast on asking for help. So if that topic really like excites you and interests you and you want to hear more about it, email me. I'm all ears. I love hearing from everybody, hearing how some of these things are landing with you. So if you email me and like, oh, I have this question, like, please talk about this. I've got this need or this thing going on with my teen. You're probably not alone. Somebody else is probably having that same challenge or difficulty. So they would love to hear some insight on that. So by all means, send me an email. I would love to hear from you. So a lot of us are perfectionists. Like doing it well isn't good enough. Okay. So perfectionism, what is that exactly? I think perfectionism is not going to be good enough. Like good enough isn't good enough. We have to do it better. We are afraid of having any of our flaws seen outside of us. You know, it's like, it's okay if our kid messes up as long as no one else sees it, hears about it, says anything to us about it. And by the way, I personally don't think that you are responsible for your child's actions. I think you're responsible for your relationship with that child and guiding them to learn a better way. Like our job is to teach them, not to control them. Another thing that's going on here with this whole perfectionism business is that we think that things should be hard. Like we've been conditioned to believe that nothing worth having is going to be easy, is going to be fun. It all has to be hard and struggle. We don't get good things in our life if we don't work hard. And I just want to like take a giant black marker and just like scratch through that and be like, no, that's not true. There are great things in life that are easy. We need more easy. Okay. So let's maybe start believing that things can be easy sometimes. So when is enough? Like the moms in my audience, you guys are working hard, holding down jobs, staring at computer screens all day, negotiating who will have the car, helping kids with homework, doing homework for our kids sometimes so that they can get by. A lot of us have neurodiverse teenagers that just the system isn't built for. And so they struggle. And so we end up, you know, in addition to our own work and responsibilities, not to mention like all of the domestic tasks that culturally end up falling on women. We have all of these things going on. We're proactively thinking about what our kids will want in advance. And then like being ignored until the last second, like, you know, like, what are you going to want to wear on the first day of school? What are you going to wear on the first day of school? And then, oh, wait. I don't know. Oh, actually, I want this thing. And school starts tomorrow. Okay. This is actually being recorded in November. I just try not to be too specific on people's experiences. These are the things that moms are doing. So let's acknowledge that. Let's give ourselves a little self-compassion, a little self-empathy, and be like, wow, I did a lot. I did a lot of stuff. I'm doing a lot. Like, I was actually with a friend last night and we were doing some fun stuff in her business. She has a super niche clothing line. It's super cute, but I was helping her cut some fabric and like I had my son with me and I'm over here like in my head kind of like comparing us and being like, "Oh, I should be more organized. I should have this going on in my business." Like blah blah blah, like, you know, this storyline and then I'm like seeing my kid bop around and like try to touch stuff and like, you know, grab one of the cutters and be like, "What's this? I want to touch this." And I'm like, "Oh, right." Self-compassion, self-empathy. Like this is, it's okay. It's okay. Where I am is great. Okay. So we are all under a lot of stress. I could keep going about the specifics of what each person is experiencing and the pressures that we all experience. But I just want to acknowledge you and your experience and help create some empathy in this. So These are some of the reasons that it makes it so hard to be calm. And so if you're not calm, let's give you a break. This is not something to be ashamed about. We have a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of energy out there, people talking about the financial market and things like that. Like just causes a lot of stress, and it is okay if you're not calm. I am not here to shame you, okay? I'm here to build you up and encourage you. Keep going. You are really doing great. Okay. So calm. Those are some of the reasons that calm gets to be so hairy and hard. And that's not even talking about like the pressure of the relationship with our kids. Like just to say the right thing, to manage this relationship with this ever evolving, dynamic human being that like one thing works this week. And then like a few weeks later, we get a completely different response to a situation that seems the same. So there's a lot on us. So why do we need so much calm? Well, we are always, as mama bears, solving problems. Most of us are the de facto managers of our home. Hey, mom, I forgot my homework, my lunch, my costume. Can you bring it to me? Hey, mom, my sibling keeps touching my stuff. Make them stop. Hey, mom, my sibling just called me a mean name because I was touching their stuff. Like, you need to come and so if we're going to manage these difficult situations that are popping up all the time, like we need calm. Because how else are we going to handle that stuff without freaking out? I just made this whole case about the reason that it's so hard. So yeah, we definitely need it. All right. And then there's the big stuff, like which bill is going to get paid if things are tight, or like how to manage a mental health issue with one of our kids. We really need that calm, grounded energy to think clearly and to make good choices for our families. So without calm, we're going to find ourselves burned out, miserable, and way less effective at everything. Like just sort of that phenomenon of overwhelm where you're just like trudging through 3 feet of water. Just really hard to be efficient if we don't have that clarity and calm. Okay. And our kids really need us to be calm. They need us to be calm so that they can feel safe. Like they're thinking about to themselves, like, how is my parent going to react when I make a mistake? Or if they want to come to us with some kind of major dilemma, like if they don't know that we're going to be calm, if they think we're going to overreact, then they're going to hide that stuff from us, whether it's a mistake, whether it's an issue with a friend. If they think that we're going to have this huge overblown reaction because our nervous system is so dysregulated, then that's going to be a really hard situation. So if we can't be calm, kids are going to shut down, blame themselves for the problems in their lives. Problems are normal, right? Like that is part of the human experience. They're going to turn to their friends for advice. And we know that their peers do not have the life experience that we do. Like we've already made those mistakes. We've already been there. We want our kids to come to us with this stuff. But if we are going to overreact, if we're not going to be that safe place, then they're going to turn to their friends and they're potentially going to make some pretty bad decisions. Their brains are wired for impressing their peers. And unfortunately, a lot of times that takes the form of risk taking. So yeah, teens make bad choices and we really want them to come to us. And so we have to be calm. And we have to be calm to enjoy our lives. There's so many beautiful things out there for us to appreciate. And if we're overwhelmed and burned out and miserable, then it's really hard for us to be present with anything, to even enjoy the relationship with our kids, to appreciate how freaking gorgeous they are when we get to talk to them, or the sound of their voice, or the way that they laugh, or even just like the sound of their voice when they're talking to their friends in the other room. Like we don't get to enjoy that stuff if we're so overwhelmed and stressed out. And even more than those things, which I mean, enjoying your life is super pivotal, but we can't connect with our kids, which I know is your goal because you're listening to this podcast right now. And we can't connect with our kids if we're stressing out about our miles long to-do list. I've done it. Okay. I've gotten stuck in the swirl of thinking about all of the things that I need to do. What's my to-do list? I can't enjoy this moment because I'm somewhere else. And then I can just feel my kid being like, hey, pay attention to me. And I'm lucky because my kid is little and they'll do that still, where our teens tend to just interpret that and be like, oh, my parent doesn't care about me, which is absolutely not true. Your love for your kid is part of what's motivating you to try to have this ginormous to-do list. My made up word there. Hope you enjoyed that. But our kids are really going to have a hard time connecting with us. Like we won't be able to tune in and understand what they need us to do, what kind of support they need if we're not calm. So it's super important. And without this, we miss the opportunity to be close with them and enjoy the relationship long enough to be in the moment. So I just came across this really cool chakra card about dialogue. And it was basically like, you can't be present in a conversation with someone else and hear what their needs are if you have your own internal dialogue chattering in the conversation. Like we have to be able to kind of like empty that stuff out so that we can be present with others in the moment. So I just want to share some empathy with everybody. I know this is a really tough one and it's not an easy fix. It's a journey. Parenting is a journey. So I just acknowledge you for being on it. I acknowledge you for the moments when you can be calm. And I invite you to reach out and participate in some of the offerings that we have here at Best Mom Ever so that you can really dive in and dig into more calm, peace, and happiness and ease in your life and relationships. I have a really exciting opportunity next week. We are going to do, it's from November 13th through 17th. Is that right? Monday through Friday of next week. We are going to do a 5-day challenge. And we are going to take some of these steps together, really grow our relationships, really be seen and heard and witnessed by other parents in a way that's totally non-judgmental, super safe container so that you can come and be seen and be served and experience and be yourself and be free to express yourself and be understood and not judged. So it's going to be really, really fun. So look out for my emails for that. It's also completely free. So I hope you'll dive in. And I hope it's a super success and you guys all turn out for this and participate 100% because there's going to be a lot of great opportunities for that as well. And then if it goes great, we'll run some more of them. So thanks so much for listening. So much love for everybody. And don't forget to love yourself. Talk soon. Hello, friends. It's Allison. And as you know, I help parents who are tired of fighting with and feeling disconnected from their teenagers to get close, strong relationships that last a lifetime without throwing pills at the problem. My clients have been able to accomplish amazing things with their teenagers, shift from yelling at one another to holding hands, go from missing weeks of school on end to attending regularly and collaborating on assignments. This is incredible to witness, and I would love to see it for more moms, which is why my team is creating a very special opportunity to help more moms and their teenagers go from feeling defeated and burned out to feeling more freedom and confidence. This will be a brand new beta program for a very small, intimate group of up to 13 fully committed parents who want to build skills and feel confident that they know how to get their teens to open up, discover how to reduce conflict and stress in the relationship, reconnect, and to trust each other again. If this sounds like you, if you know you need this, use the link in the description to register for the waitlist. Thank you so much for listening. Have a beautiful day.